This is a strategic, a very important historical visit. The signing of two gigantic gas contracts valued $110 billion is a huge step, and the timing cannot be any better. The United States policy led by President Trump is to invest in the Middle East. As we saw, President Trump's trip to Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, he brought $3 trillion of investment, and this step is very much welcomed. Dr. Masoud Barzani, the special advisor to President Trump on the Middle East and Africa, told the Prime Minister, this is a welcome step by President Trump, and this is a welcome step by the United States, and the United States is very pleased to come and invest in Kurdistan, including many minerals for the benefits of the American people and the Kurdish people. Yes, the door is already open. The Prime Minister Masoud Barzani last night said, we have excellent relation with the United States, but we always have an opportunity to make it better. The relation between Kurdistan and the United States is historical, and there is a love between the American people and the Kurdish people, and there is cooperation on many levels, but there is a very good opportunity for the United States to cooperate and invest largely in Kurdistan, not only in gas, as the two major American companies have signed now, but also in all types of minerals and wealth in Kurdistan, which will strengthen the American-Kurdish relationship, and also, as I said, benefit both peoples. And this is exactly the policy of President Trump, and I am 100% sure President Trump would welcome it and support it, and he's behind. Any investment of this kind is a long term. Even if President Trump has changed or his term finished, the investments will continue. That's why I call it strategic step by Prime Minister Masoud Barzani. These projects does not last 1 year or 2 years. It lasts tens of years. And this is how nations build a sustainable long-term relationship. And this is exactly what the leadership in Erbil, led by Prime Minister Masoud Barzani, and the United States, led by President Trump, wants to see. But this will go for generations. And American companies are the best companies in the world. So as we say here, it's a win-win situation. Both Americans and the Kurdish people will benefit. Iraq also will benefit. The region will benefit. But there is very important issue I must point out. This model can be and will be copied to the rest of the Middle East. The United States, Dr. Masoud Barzani and the United States said, we can do the same thing in Syria, we can do the same thing in Lebanon, that American companies invest and rebuild Syria and rebuild Lebanon. The same way we can improve the economy and the welfare of the Kurdish people, including 24 hours electricity to the region of Kurdistan. There are two reasons these contracts are constitutional. First, the constitutional item about, or clause about the oil and gas talks about currently, which talks about until the gas and oil in 2005. Means any gas and oil after 2005 is in the right, full 100% the right of the region to invest. Second, there is another constitutional clause in which shows the authorities of the federal government, which does not include oil and gas. The United States realized very much this is a constitutional. The United States helped the Iraqis to write the constitution, and they know exactly this is a witch hunt from Baghdad, an attempt from Baghdad to attack Kurdistan because of foreign intervention by Iran, and also for chauvinistic reasons and hatred towards the Kurdish people. Unfortunately, Secretary Rubio said in front of the Senate This is not a normal statement. He said in front of the US Senate that the linchpin of the US policy is Kurdistan autonomy. He said, we informed Baghdad that Kurdistan economy is something the United States will consider it as a center of the US policy towards Iraq. This is not the Biden administration. This is the Trump administration. And the policy that the Kurds are the first allies of the United States in Iraq, and they will be treated so as first allies. And the United States will stand firm on the side of Kurdistan. Thank you to the leadership of Prime Minister Masoud Barzani as a recent visit and recent signing of the gas contracts. We hope to see many, many more contracts on a strategic level for minerals in Kurdistan. Dr. Masoud Barzani last night in his speech said, President Trump concentrate on 3 P's. Peace, the first P. He wants to have peace in the Middle East. Partnership. He wants to have partnership. So he's building partnership with the Gulf countries, with Arabian Gulf countries, with Kurdistan, with Turkey, with all allied countries allied to the United States. And the last thing, prosperity. He wants to see prosperity, advancement in the economy. If the economy of Kurdistan gets better, if the economy of the Middle East gets better, there will be more peace. If the partnership between the United States and the Middle East continued and Kurdistan continued, it will be more prosperity. So each P contribute to other P. Peace, prosperity, and partnership. America is focusing on peace, stability, and prosperity. Look, there is no peace and there is no stability if there is no prosperity. If the people are poor, and if there is no economical growth, and if there are no money, and there is no welfare for the people, there will be no prosperity and there will be no peace. Peace and prosperity comes from partnership with the United States. So remember, these 3 factors are connected to each other. And the United States is very serious about implementing this policy. Thanks God we have leadership in Erbil who understand this and working very hard to make it happen. Every American congressman, senator, or member of the cabinet of President Trump said the Kurds are the best partners to the United States in fighting terrorism, in fighting criminals, and fighting every aspect of instability in the Middle East. And the Peshmerga are praised every time they are mentioned. So yes, the Peshmerga in Kurdistan, the brave Peshmerga in Kurdistan, will always contribute to this stability and to this partnership. But the partnership between Kurdistan and America should not be only on military or security levels. It should be on economic levels, on friendship levels, and on mutual interest levels besides security and military. The United States does not need to protect Kurdistan. Kurdistan can protect itself. The Kurds are the bravest people. The Peshmerga are brave. Kurdistan needs weapons. Kurdistan need training. Kurdistan need anti-aircraft and anti-drones and anti-missiles, resistant weapons. The Kurds are able to control the area, the region, and defend themselves. The United States just need to help them with weapons and training. This is what we're trying to tell the Americans. One Iraq policy does not work because the Kurds are friends of America and there are people in Baghdad who are enemies of America. So you cannot treat Iraq the same way. We have to have one Iraq, maybe, yeah, it's one Iraq, but 2 policies. A policy for the Kurdistan and policy for the rest of Iraq. And we see that happening now. We see there is understanding now from the Trump administration that the Kurds are not enemies of the United States. They've always been friends, but they are enemies in Baghdad, in the government, who are against the Kurds, against peace, against prosperity, against America, against humanity. So I think the United States is coming very close to understand there should be two types of policy. This is exactly what the United States is doing with China. Taiwan has a different policy from China. There is called one China policy, but Taiwan is treated as friend of America. The United States give Taiwan F-16s, advanced weapons, but consider China as an enemy or as an adversary. So we have to apply the same policy for Iraq. Exactly. Because Trump is very serious about peace in the Middle East. He is very serious about stability in the Middle East. Trump is going to appreciate and look for allies in the United States, in the Middle East. So I think the Kurdish people and the Kurdish government will have a strategic role with President Trump to enforce stability on the Middle East and peace. And I think the role of Mr. Masoud Barzani and President Masoud Barzani will be bigger than Kurdistan. It will be a regional role to succeed peace and prosperity and stability in the Middle East. This is very important point. President Masoud Barzani has a very, very unique advantage. He has excellent relations with Turkey. He has excellent relations with the United States. He has excellent relations with the Kurds in Syria and General Mazloum. He has excellent relations with the Syrian government and President Ahmed al-Shara. He has very good relations with the Gulf countries, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates. That's why President Barzani will play a very major role. No one in the Middle East has all these relations good at the same time, except President Masoud Barzani. And I think the United States will need that. And this is exactly why I say President Masoud Barzani will play a regional role, a regional action more than only on Kurdistan region action. Stability is important for Kurdistan. The more Kurdistan has American investment, the less possibility there will be aggression against Kurdistan. Jobs, more jobs, income and revenue for Kurdistan, growth in the economy, and also improving relations with all neighbors and the United States. All these are advantageous for the Kurdish people. Peace and prosperity and stability does not come by talk. It has to happen based on economical ties, long economical ties. Secretary Wright, U.S. Secretary of Energy, he said with Prime Minister Masoud Barzani, he said President Trump's vision, the best connection to the outside world is energy, is commerce and energy. And energy means prosperity of human being. So gas, oil investment, minerals, all these industrial investment in Kurdistan by the United States will open the doors for more stability, more prosperity, and more peace in the region. Yes, natural resources are in the ground, not invested. These natural resources are worth hundreds of billions of dollars. When this money comes out, it will benefit every Kurd. Not only every Kurd, it will benefit every Iraqi. Even it will benefit other countries in the region through contracts, through construction, through transfer of goods and commerce. So when you do something right, everything comes right after it. When someone do something wrong, God forbidden, everything goes wrong. Kurdistan region now is on the right track. Prime Minister Masoud Barzani pulled Kurdistan from the ashes. Kurdistan was falling apart after Daesh, after ISIS. Now Kurdistan has a very bright future. And as I said, the signing of these two major gas contracts is only the beginning. And also I would like to let you know, Already, those gas companies are starting work in Kurdistan. And within less than 2 years, there will be enough production of gas to cover not only Kurdistan, will cover all Iraq.